Ready to try this again? Why did my music player stop, by the way? What the crappers, dude? Yo, let's get a banger going right now. Stupid Steam music player butthole. What's up, guys? Oh God, sorry. Weird morning, man. Yeah. So, we'll try to pick it up here where we left off. I've got all the tabs up that we had already pulled up for like what we were planning on discussing for video gaming news. And before we were so rudely interrupted by some kind of huge power outage, like I literally a massive part of the grid where I live just went down. It was like a ton of people were without electricity for like a couple hours at least. So I didn't start right back up immediately because I was a bit worried that like I would start back up and then it would go back down or something. So I gave it about 20 to 30 minutes after the electricity came back on just to try to make sure we were going to have stable. I wasn't going to have to deal with it going back down in the middle of the news segment again. So fingers crossed, dude. Fingers crossed. Oh, I mean, that's life, dude. I mean, it's just, you know, it's one of those things that, I don't know, is what it is. It sucks. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. That sucks for all of us. You know what I mean? It always feels bad to me when things like that happen. Occasionally we'll deal with like some power surges in this area and stuff like that where it'll like knock everything out real quick and I'm like, and I'll just start right back up. But usually we don't deal with like power outages. That was kind of a weird deal. And it's not storming or anything here. It's a beautiful flipping day. Usually if there's any kind of power outage, it'll be like a storm or something. You know what I mean? And it's not very long. Dude, it just crashed. Yeah, it just crashed. And I started looking into it and stuff, and it was apparently an entire section of the electrical grid here for the city that was just like went down. It was weird. But they got it taken care of in, I guess, a timely fashion. Who knows? I don't really know what happened, but you know, it's all right, man. It is what it is. We just have to remain agile. You know what I mean? Yo, don't we have an appropriate emote for that, dude? You know what I mean? Pretty sure. Yeah? Yeah. But we're back, baby. We'll make it work. There you go. Yeah, forget revolution. There you go. Nah, that's what it needed right there. My bad. So I don't know. We probably won't do grounded today. I wasn't gonna go super hard today, anyways. We did a long stream yesterday, and I had some stuff I was gonna do with my kid today. So I was gonna just go early afternoon, anyways. And now that we lost a lot of time to the power being out, I'll probably just do the news, and then we'll do the thing tomorrow, man. So. I know, dude. I know. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm bummed too. I don't know. It's one of those. It's a weird thing, dude. I blame your work, to be honest. Can you just quit? If the channel gets big enough, I'll just put you on contract. That way you can quit. Does that work? And then you won't have to worry about working there. Yeah, that's what I'll absolutely plan on doing that. Like no joke. No joke at all, dude. So that'll be the plan. We just got to get the channel big enough to support that endeavor. You know what I mean? It's got to get big enough to. I don't need to be wealthy. I just need to be big enough to support myself and my family, and then like Pinky and some of the other mains in here. You know what I mean? We'll be good. Then we'll be good, dude. It'll be yeah. Bro, well played. Well played. Yeah. Yeah, Doug. Yeah. So that's probably what we'll do. We'll just finish up the news and then we'll probably just call it today, and then we'll get a good amount in tomorrow. And this entire coming week, dude, will be, as far as I'm concerned, it'll be grounded. It'll just be grounded. We're gonna go hard with grounded and try to get it all. Really push this story and everything. I know it's one of those games you don't have to necessarily be finished with, but I want to get all the like story part of it done and everything, you know, and get the main parts of the game completed and get all the different sections of the yard explored and just get a real good sense of completion. And so we're going to start pushing really hard. It sucks because I was really planning on playing it today and I was looking forward to it, but it just didn't work out that way. Life happened, I guess. So let's get in here, man. Let's dive into this news stuff and let's see what we can. We had a lot of stuff pulled up. I've still got it up. But again, as we were listening to earlier before we were so rudely interrupted, Crypto the Necro Dancer. It's got a great soundtrack, and it's a sick rhythm-based adventure RPG type game too. So highly recommend checking it out. All right, I'm gonna kill the music and let's dive back into all our tabs, dude, for checking out the news. You can see everything we already had pulled up. So I hope everybody is having a good day. You know, I kind of already did that whole like intro, what's up to everybody earlier before we were interrupted by the outage and everything. But I hope everybody's day is still going well. Let's get into this. I'm trying to eat breakfast too. I didn't eat yet. So everybody's like, why didn't you eat while the power was out? I ran some errands. So, here we go. Let's see what else we got. What page are we on right here? 1. All right. We'll try to get through this and slam into these articles real quick. We just pulled that one up. Yeah. All this stuff about that submersible it's insane. It's insane how much like it's just turned into such a big media thing, you know? It's wild. Jesus. 100s in 100 scores, meaning perfect scores. Gross, dude. Yeah, I think we already have this up, if I remember. We have the Amazon stuff up. Yeah. Yeah, we've got this up, I think, so we'll be good there. What's this thing? New shake weight jam. Booty, baby. Are pretty funny, Jabs. What up, Psych? What are you doing, dude? Now that song's gonna be stuck in my head. Elder Scrolls 6 is 5+ years away, says Phil Spencer. I mean, I mean, we talked about it here recently. Most big AAA games are taking like somewhere around 5 to 7 years for full development, right? If not, maybe even a little bit longer. And they're not really focused on Elder Scrolls right now, right? Not at least until they get Starfield done. Yeah. So Bethesda's not even really full throttle on this game or anything. They're not even really focused on it yet. They've got probably early production, early development stuff, but I don't think anybody should be surprised by the fact that they're probably going to overestimate that too. If it comes out earlier, then sick. That's going to be good for them. But they're not going to try and like be like, oh, it's 3 years away when it could potentially be 5+ years, right? Jesus, dude. There's so much of this sub crap in the gaming news, dude. Yeah, we already talked about that. Yo, you too, Kayla. Thanks. Psych, what are you doing today, Doc? What you doing, bro? God dang, dude. Work Sag, bro. It's flipping Saturday, dog. Yeah, my sentiments too. Not that that can't be a work schedule, but Jesus, Psych, it feels like you work nonstop, dude. Like all week long and now the weekends too. Jesus. God dang, dude. Calm down after Tuesday. I hope so, Doug. I feel like you're working yourself to death. That's the way it seems. All right, dude. Let's stick with what we got. We were really close to like kicking off the news in full effect there. So it's probably better that like the electricity cut out on us before we actually got into the articles. All right, man. Here's the deal. I'm just gonna do a bit of an intro to I talked about this earlier when we found this article. The past couple of days we've talked about and we've read about a lot of critic reviews are talking about Final Fantasy 16 has gotten really, really shallow with the RPG aspects of what Final Fantasy has traditionally been in an RPG, where it feels a lot more like just an action focused combat game. Something like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. And for me, that's disgusting. Um, Final Fantasy's always been a stellar RPG series, and to take a game that at its core has always been about you know pretty good RPG aspects, and to remove that out of it means it's not Final Fantasy anymore to me. So to me, that feels bad. Even though a lot of the reviews are talking about how the game itself is very good. It plays well. It looks great. It's got good writing. Um, Overall, people are talking about the game feels good, but even the good critic reviews are talking about how shallow the RPG aspects of the game are. And that it's also a fairly short game compared to what Final Fantasy traditionally has been too. And um I probably won't play it. Just because it's not what I expect Final Fantasy to be. That's weird to me. So, for all those people that want to play this game on PC, apparently maybe we have some good news on that front. But personally, I don't care to play a game. If I wanted to play Devil May Cry, I'd play Devil May Cry. If I wanted to play Bayonetta, I'd go play Bayonetta. I play Final Fantasy games for what Final Fantasy has always been. It doesn't mean, I mean, these games have evolved over time, right? They've evolved, they've changed a little bit, but at the core, they've usually maintained that essence of what Final Fantasy has usually been, right? The RPG elements and the, you know, there's main quest lines, side quest stuff with an end game, but you can still grind stuff after the end game. You know, there's usually a good amount of stuff, and it sounds like they got rid of a lot of that stuff, which to me feels really bad. And I don't think I'm probably the only individual that is a fan of the Final Fantasy series. That if that is in fact the case, which I'm going to find it hard to believe it's not after seeing so many critic reviews say the same thing, it's going to feel bad to traditional Final Fantasy fans. Let's read this article. Good news has come for PC gamers waiting for Final Fantasy 16. It has launched for PS5 recently. The game is garnering a widely positive response from its fans as well as critics. Way Square has departed from its series, from its RPG roots to straightforward action. The game introduces a semi-open world formula to the series along with a bunch of new gameplay mechanics and a darker storyline. The game is basically a revenge tale with much darker themes than anything seen before in the series. Best part, that this game is currently on its way to PC, but fans of that platform will have to wait much longer than expected. What a baited title then. We knew it would come to PC, but we knew it would be years already. So what? IGN has reported the PC version of Final Fantasy 16 is in fact in production now. Only problem is that this game does not have a launch date as of yet. This means the port might just be in the very early stages of... We knew that they were going to bring it to PC. We just knew it probably wouldn't be... We're talking at the earliest a year after release. But I'm expecting probably not until years after. Especially after all the quotes I've seen by the lead producer and the lead developers off of this game and stuff. They didn't really care for it to be on PC all that much. It's going to come to PC. We knew that. But this is kind of a baity article. Again, I think for me, the main thing I'm taking away from Final Fantasy 16 is that I think what they made is a quality piece of software, but it's not Final Fantasy. So I don't know why they felt like they needed to take away the core aspects of what Final Fantasy has always been and still throw the Final Fantasy name on it. It's weird. Started playing a game, Fear and Hunger, extremely dark and brutal game to the point I wouldn't even recommend looking it up on stream. Wait, I mean, because not safe for work stuff or what? This is really dumb too. I mean, what I should probably do is let's read this one after that. Those will have some synergies there together, so we'll read those together. Amazon Prime's giving away some great PC games. Cutting off enemy limbs. Same goes for your characters. That sounds great. Wait, there's no I gotta look it up now. Wait, what? Wait, dude. Hold on, man. What is this? Hold on, dog. What? You knew I'd look it up. You knew I'd look it up. Hold on, man. Oh, this looks dope. That's got a really good review rating on it too. What made you start playing this, dude? It's a pretty it's like it's dope, dude. Hold on. Check it out. Yeah, I mean it's fine. I mean it's gory, but it's just like random YouTube video was recommended, really? Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is true. Lots of not safe for work stuff. I'll just link it. I'll show you guys just a real quick clip of like what he's talking about. Watch. It's like, blah! Yeah, that's wild. It's like a turn-based game too, so but yeah, it does look like it's probably very mature. So here, if you're interested, check it out. I'll put it in chat real quick. That's wild. Yeah, thanks, Biggie. Gnarly. All right, let's get back in it. You'll have to let me know how it goes. How many hours are you into it? No way, bro. Really? That's wild. Prime's giving away some great PC games, Overwatch levels for free. So Prime Day is still a couple of weeks away, but from now until the 12th of July, you can begin picking up some extra free gaming perks for those already subscribed to the service. First up is Prey, the excellent 2017 immersive sim that Arcane Austin made before shipping the troubled Game Pass exclusive Redfall. Yeah. Normally $30 on PC, you can currently get a DRM-free version at no extra cost if you're already a paying Prime subscriber. In the days and weeks ahead, Amazon is teasing additional free games, including Star Wars The Force Unleashed, Shovel Knight Showdown, and Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. There's also a bunch of online multiplayer game perks like free Battle Pass levels in Overwatch 2 and free in-game stuff for Pokemon Go and Diablo 4. It's an especially good time to go back and revisit Prey, like they just talked about. But yeah, looks like some good stuff coming out of wait, what? Bro, what happened? How did I get so far away from that? Oh, yeah, here. If you need it. 5 hours in, barely started playing it. Okay, word. That sounds crazy, dude. Google is reportedly bringing instantly playable online games to YouTube. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't already have that. With the fact that they already had like Stadia and stuff, but maybe that's what it was. Like they don't want people just using YouTube to game, and they already had like Google Play and stuff like that, So I don't know. Stadia, Google's most recent high-profile foray into gaming, might have been a notable flop. The company isn't giving up on games just yet. Wall Street Journal is reporting Google is now looking to incorporate playable online games into YouTube. The initiative, which Google is reportedly branding Playables, will enable users to instantly play online games via YouTube's website or via its mobile apps on iOS and Android. This project is currently being tested internally. Staff are now being invited to participate in the process. Only one available title, Stack Bounce, a casual arcade game challenging players to smash horizontally stacked bricks with a ball, was highlighted in the publication's report. Google's new Playables initiative comes as other video-on-demand companies, including Netflix and Amazon, continue making inroads into the playable gaming sector. Wall Street Journal offered no information on when Playables might be targeting a public launch. However, gaming has long been a focus at YouTube. A Google spokesman told the publication, "We're always experimenting with new features, but have nothing to announce right now." Okay, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's like any any company that has an app is like, how many? Let's find a way to. And I mean, Google's got all kinds of apps, and it's like they're just gonna have gaming on every single app they own. You know what I mean? Instead of like the dedicated gaming apps they already have. That's a weird situation. It feels like, but you know, gaming's a huge market, dude. It's massive. It absolutely demolishes like other forms of entertainment nowadays, like the movie industry. Gaming throttles it. If you didn't know that, the movie industry doesn't bring in near as much money as gaming does. It's actually crazy. So that's why everybody just wants to get into gaming, dude. Even if they're already in gaming, they want to put gaming on everything they have, you know? Snag 8 Steam Deck games for only $10, guys. Fanatical's Handheld Heroes bundle features a bunch of Steam Deck compatible games to pick from. Fanatical's latest bundle is all about adding some new content to your Steam Deck library, and in this special, you can choose from cult classic RPGs, quirky platformers, and a gung-ho action title that would make film director John Woo proud. You'll be able to acquire 3 games for $5, 5 games for $7, and 8 games for $10 in this deal. All these games are rated as verified on Steam Deck, meaning they're optimized for that device, right? There are a lot of games on Steam that you can play on the Steam Deck, but they're not verified, meaning they might have some wonkiness to them, right? But all of these will be verified, meaning they're optimized for the Steam Deck. One of the standout titles is Hong Kong Massacre, twin stick shooter. Oh, for fans of the old school post-apocalyptic role-playing, you can grab Bethesda's first 2 games in the Fallout series, Fallout 1 and 2. Another blast from the past is Doom 64. Then there's a Necrosmith. Create and command your very own army of the undead to battle on the behalf in a dangerous new world. Shantae, Risky's Revenge, award-winning classic Metroidvania with terrific character designs. And Dark Devotion spans several genres while weaving an immersive narrative. So this is the list of all the games you can get. Oh, there's a Black Book. Yeah, Doom 64. Fallout 2. Fallout. Shantae. Yeah. There you go. If you're interested. Wait, what? Wait, what? What was that in the comment too? I'm sorry. Even us girls? You mean for like because of what I was talking about the other day about the playing games and stuff? Yeah, even girls. Weird, huh? What's up, Drew? That's so stupid. If you guys don't know what Drew's talking about, we came across an article in the news not too long ago that was basically like a legit study about how many women owned consoles and not bought consoles for other people, but actually owned consoles to play them themselves. And over half of the percentage of polled people that actually own a Switch, it's like 54 or 55% are actually women that own to play. And then it's like mid 40s for the other 2 consoles. And there are a bunch of incel idiots that were like, oh, well, this study can't be correct. Like, women can't enjoy video games. So I actually clipped it and put it on the YouTube channel. And then I pulled it up the other day because there's some idiot that put a comment on there that was like, it was just so ass. It wasn't even worth a reply. It's just it was ridiculous. A comment that I got on it. Yeah, it was so stupid, dude. I don't know. It was just so dumb. But I pulled it up. Maybe yesterday in the news or the day before. I was like, look at this idiot's comment. I like put this full on blast. I didn't care. It was so stupid. It was some comment like, girls don't really like video games in capital letters. They just play them to be more attractive to men. It was a stupid comment like that. It was something ridiculous like that. And then it was like something else like talking about it prompting them to be more like anime girls or something. It was the most asinine crap, dude. I had to put them on blast on the channel. I couldn't help it. It was so dumb. Yeah. It was really stupid. I mean, look, dude, I'll show you. I don't care. I don't care, bro. Yeah, do what I want. Look, man. Yeah. God dang it, dude. Here. Where the comments at, dude? That's not it. Hold on. I'm tripping, Doug. Yo, pull that back up, man. It's really dumb. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, check this out. Yeah. Doc, what's happening? Oh yeah, here. So this is the video right here, right? This is the video. And I was actually really sarcastic in it too. Perfect, psych. I love it, dude. I love it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's like, I was really sarcastic at the beginning. I'll even just show you. Watch. Data shows most Switch owners are women. Gamers react poorly. What? Why react poorly? New data also reveals that 45% of Xbox owners and 41% of PS5 owners are female too. So? It's almost like there are both men and women who play video games. What? Yo, all right, dude. Yeah. This really shouldn't be news. I agree. It shouldn't. It certainly shouldn't be surprising to anyone. But yes, new data from Circana shows that, as we told you in 2017, women play video games. Yeah, as they should, because humans like video games. In fact, more than half of all Switch owners are women. So that's just like, to be, I'm not gonna watch all of this. That's just like the first minute of this that like I go into like how ridiculous it is that like people were throwing a fit. A bunch of incels, basically. A bunch of incels. And you know, I was sarcastic. Even on the title, I put what? Women like video games too, but I put a /s in there, you know what I mean? Because it was just so ridiculous. And then look at this comment, dude. This comment by at NeatPride5919. I don't think women really like video games, but they now realize being a gamer girl raises their attractiveness ranking for most men. The Switch is simply the cheapest, simplest, and cutest modern gaming platform. So obviously this fool didn't even listen to this whole thing because women are almost up to 50% on the other two console makers as well. So what? That's a dumb comment too. I'm so glad things turned out this way. They have also begun to realize they need to emulate anime girls. So long as there is not a massive economic collapse, the future is looking pretty good, to be honest. What? What? And somebody thumbs upped that, dude. Probably himself. Because I was like, dude, this is stupid. I just straight up down, thumbs down. I know, Miss Pat. I know. What's up, Miss Pat? I know. Isn't that so stupid? I was like, this isn't even worth a reply. This is just an absolute moron right here. Like, I'm sorry. What an idiot. What an idiot. But I showed this the other day because I was so like, this is just the crap, dude. This is the crap. I get stupid comments on videos all the time, you know. But this is one of the dumbest I've ever seen, and I just had to show it off. I was like, this is because we came across some topic or subject, and I was like, this is so dumb. I was like, you guys have to see this because it correlated, right? And I was like, you guys need to see this comment I got, and it was just so stupid. If you guys want to see the whole thing, I mean, I'll link this if you want to watch the whole video and see what that article was about. But it's just so stupid, dude. So ridiculous. Did I link this? Did I link this Steam Deck game thing? So that's why True was saying that, because True was in the channel the other day whenever it got brought back up, you know. Mr. Bat's like, gee, thanks. Get wrecked, Mr. Bat. I did? Okay, well, there it is again, all right? Get wrecked. Yo, what's up, Miss Bat? Popular Bethesda game is free to download for limited time. That's funny, dude. That's funny. Oh, God. Popular Bethesda game is free to download for limited time. Popular Bethesda game is free to download for limited time. It's Prey. It's Prey. We already talked about it. Yeah. And you have to get it on Amazon Prime. So it's not like because this is Bethesda and they're owned by Xbox that this is actually free on Game Pass or for Xbox or anything. Isn't that ridiculous? Yeah, isn't that wild? Dude, console players get ripped off. They never get free games, dude. It's insane. Console players never get free games. I'm telling you, everybody just needs to come over to the dark side, baby. Come start playing PC stuff, dude. Because the Vault, yo, what's up, dude? Yeah. I've been back for I don't know, dude. Almost an hour now. Yeah. You fell asleep? Yeah, dude. It was brutal, man. We had like an entire like section, like a grid of the city that like lost electricity, man. It was down for over a couple hours, man. Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty rough, dude. Yeah. So I was just like trying to figure out other things to get done, and I didn't expect it to take that long, but life, I guess, you know what I mean? How was your nap, dude? So, isn't it, that's so weird, dude. Like they'll Xbox will let like Amazon give it away for free, but they won't put it out on Xbox for free. That's weird, dude. Oh, nice, dude. Yo, my head's still hurting, dude. My head is still hurting. That's awesome, man. So we just talked about it. If you if you have Amazon Prime, you automatically get Prime Gaming as well. If you didn't know that, you just look into it, man. You get free games each month. You also get access to free in-game content for a whole slew of games, like Riot Games, League of Legends stuff, like all kind of like Warframe and just God. There's so many games that you get in-game content for, like premium currency or cosmetics and things like that. It's just all kinds of stuff. But every month you get free games too. But those games are normally games that you play through Amazon's gaming platform. Sometimes you'll get keys that'll be for like GOG, but outside of that, it's actually games that have to be loaded up on Amazon's platform, which kind of sucks, but it's free software, dude. So yeah, I need to play Prey, actually. I think I own it on like a few different platforms at this point. But I really need to play it. I've heard good things about it. I mean, look, Arcane has a history of making good games, which I think is what's so weird about the fact that Redfall came out and was total balls. You know what I mean? I've talked about it before. It's a weird thing. That's a weird thing. Arcane's traditionally been pretty good at most things they've done. Pretty solid, actually. And for them to pivot into Redfall and for it to just be a hot flipping mess of bad is weird. It's kind of odd. All right, Steam users surprised after controversial game is quietly released in early access. Steam users, thanks to Steam Early Access, can now play one of the most controversial games of the past few years early before anyone else. Once Upon a Time series that are mainstays and mainstream in gaming right now, like Grand Theft Auto, Mass Effect, Call of Duty, and Mortal Kombat, were quite controversial. There was a time where over-the-top violence, sexual content, and turning war into a video game was all under heavy scrutiny. Times have changed. It's rare for games to whip up controversy in modern era. 6 Days in Fallujah is one of the rare examples, though. I've heard about this. There's a lot of history and controversy to unpack with 6 Days in Fallujah. It was originally supposed to release back in 2010 after public pressure, including from Britain advocacy group Stop the War Coalition. Project was put on ice and canceled. 11 years later, in 2021, it was announced the project was being revived. Right away, similar calls for it being canceled or denied licensing from various platforms emerged. For the purpose of this article, we won't dive into the various concerns raised, but they by and large stemmed around the concept of taking the events of the Second Battle of Fallujah, an infamously brutal battle that took place during the Iraq War, and turning it into a video game. Yeah. Since the initial uproar, the developers behind the game, Highwire Games, has largely gone quiet, but the game is still in development and aiming to release via PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One Series S, and X. Ahead of this, it's been released on Steam Early Access. It's all been done quietly, as evident by the fact the announcement trailer for the Early Access release is unlisted on YouTube. Look, I say this a lot. Like, Wick, what's up, dude? War is terrible, guys. I mean, anybody that's had to deal with war in any capacity will tell you it's an absolutely devastating, brutal, horrible thing that impacts people's lives forever. And obviously, you know, people love shooter games, right? But I think that it is quite often appropriate to take the factual kinds of things out of some of this stuff, because even, you know, a lot of people that haven't experienced war or anything like that, they don't look at these kinds of games as something that can affect people in certain kinds of ways that have experienced war, you know. And when you bring in the factual scenarios that surrounded some of this stuff, these are some events that have significantly impacted people's lives. And I just honestly feel like it's quite often kind of bad form to develop these kinds of titles around those kinds of scenarios without thinking about how it's going to play upon people's emotions, you know, that have had to deal with those specific scenarios. Instead of just coming up with some fictional based scenario or whatever, right? I mean, look, as humans, violence is something that appeals to a lot of people. Shooter games are a lot of fun, dude. I love them. We played one all day yesterday. But I think there's something to be said for being sensitive to what a factual scenario could present to a large portion of the world, you know? So that's just my own personal opinion, obviously. But I think that a lot of people that have had to deal with war in any capacity would probably agree with me on that front. So I think it's warranted that, you know, there's things like this game are very controversial, right? And what is that crap? You can't even hardly see that emote. Yo, nobody got Mecha Robot? Pinky, you better not let me forget about giving you your sub in 4 or 5 days whenever that thing goes away. I'm not even going to watch this. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to watch this on stream. I'll link it if you guys want to take a look. And not specifically because it would necessarily affect me, but just in case anybody else that it would watch it now or might watch it later or whatever, it could affect them. And just for that potential fact, I'm not gonna watch this. Okay. To check out 6 Days in Fallujah early via Steam Early Access, you will need to fork over $40 for the game. As for Steam Deck compatibility, the Steam listing makes no mention of the handheld, so it's unclear what the status of Steam Deck compatibility is for the game. And I don't necessarily know how much of this follows the facts around that scenario or anything, but because I'm not sure, I'm just not going to watch it, all right? But wait, do what? Well, Psych, I was actually talking about you earlier too. Yeah, I mean, if you let me know when yours goes away, then I will give you one too, because I know that I owe you one also. I was talking to Pinky about that earlier before you came in, dude. Yeah. But he had told me, he's like, I got about 4 or 5 days left, and I was like, I got you. But I was talking about you earlier. I hadn't forgotten about you. I just need to know. You guys have to let me know when it runs out. I was telling Pinky, I was like, flipping Sonic, I think just auto renews all the time, dude. So I never have the chance. All
right, that one was on me.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, I never had the chance. And I was, obviously, whenever you won, instead of like, you just like dumped a big old 10 gifter on us, which I greatly appreciate, but it was like, I'm supposed to be giving you a sub, and instead you dumped 10 on the community, which was awesome. What a legend. So there you go. It's linked right there if you guys want to take a look at it, all right? Xbox shutting servers down on 2 exclusive games this August. Xbox is shutting down the servers on 2 Xbox One exclusive games, making much of said games unplayable not just on Xbox One, but Series S and X as well. I don't know, dude. I feel like that's probably worth more than a sub, to be honest. Let me think about that. We've been friends long enough now that I might be able to confirm the buckness, dude. I might be able to just go ahead and confirm my name's actually just Buck, dude. That's true, Psych. Well played. You see, that's the problem right there. Everybody's gonna start hitting up Psych like, oh, what's his name? Woo! You're gonna start getting obliterated by everybody trying to data mine. I'm gonna start getting flipping. Everybody's gonna start hitting up Psych to try to figure out all my deets, dude. God likes the conquer. My name's Ganondorf. Pony Boy, Pinky Boy, and Pony Boy. That's it right there. And Psych Boy. Steve? No. Do I look like a Steve? Maybe. Do I look like Steve? Steve! What are these games? Oh, Jesus. This is becoming more and more problematic as more and more games require online services. Even many traditional single-player games have online elements and online checks now. A series very familiar to not just server shutdowns, but delistings due to licensing issues is the Forza series. Thus, it perhaps should come as no surprise that Forza Horizon 2 are both being shut down on August 22nd, 2023, especially because they've both been delisted for a while. This will render every online element of the game unplayable. The Forza games, dude. The first 2 Forza games. That said, the games will remain partially playable thanks to their single-player offline components. So not lost forever, but the online parts are done. According to the announcement that comes straight from the Forza website, both of these games have a very small player population. In other words, this news doesn't impact many Xbox fans. It's the way it works, dude. It's not worth the resources being put into the online portion of the games anymore, basically. Yeah. While the single-player experience of both games is not being touched, matchmaking, leaderboards, browsing, and download user-generated content, including liveries, turning setups, and vinyls, will all become unavailable on August 22nd. So there you go. Forza, first two Forza games are losing online capabilities. Wait, what? Wait, what? Yeah, I've got to get site. That's the original OA share. That's another thing I'm going to start trying to get done here pretty quick on the Wednesdays off, though. I've got a site that I think I'm going to start doing merch on. Maybe. I found a site that I think I might start doing merch on. So I'll let you guys know. Yeah. Well, look. Psych, we talked about. See, so I was gonna. So I'm okay. I'll just show you guys. Hold on. Yo, literally Sykes shirt right here, dude. I have Sykes shirt right here, still ready to send. I actually have Sykes address right here too. It was on the back side of that, so you couldn't see it. But this is Sykes shirt, dude. These were some original. These were actually a surprise gift to me. These were a surprise gift to me by my father-in-law. My father-in-law had these made up, and these are our original OA shirts, dude. There's the OA icon on the front, and then on the back, it's this. So on the back of the shirt, as you're walking around, people will be reading this. Let me pull it back. Stop following me. Follow OutsiderAntics on Twitch instead, is what it says. They're pretty dope, dude. But there was only like a few of them that were made. There was like a handful that were made. And some of the longtime community members and like mods and stuff. Yeah, it was very cool, dude. It was very cool. I got surprised by my dude. I'm married into a really cool family, and I just got surprised with these things, and there was just a limited quantity of them, and so like my kids got one, I have one, my wife has one, and then like outside of that, like I was trying to get them out to like maybe some of the mods and stuff like that. Was trying to get one to Psych. It was going to cost me like $300 to ship this thing over to him, dude. It was insane because Psych's over in Europe and stuff. So I've got to look back into it and find a better way to get it to him. That's something I can start looking into on Wednesdays, though. Psych, I'm going to get you this shirt, dog. I might have to hand deliver it though. If I'm going to have to pay $300 just to ship this in a box, I'm probably just going to throw myself in a box, dude, and just ship myself with it. That way I can come check out Germany for a little while. So yeah, I mean that's what that's all about. So I have your shirt, dog. That is never going to be anybody else's shirt. That is your flipping shirt. I just have to figure out a way to get it to you. I'm like, yo, if I don't make it back, it's because Sykes got me in his dungeon, dude. All right. Okay. Yeah, that works, dude. I don't know if do I have another one around here? There was just a number of people whenever I originally announced it, and I was like, do I have another one around here? I might have another one somewhere. I think I might. I was like, who wants one? And a few people were like, I'll take one. Because I didn't have very many. And it was like first people that like basically were like, I'll take one. I want one. And I was like, all right. And I set those aside. But it was really early in the stream, in the channel and stuff. Yeah, psych. I know, dude. I know. I'm the worst. Um, bro, I would love to come to Europe. I've always wanted to come just spend time in Europe. I always have. For like since I've been an adult, I've wanted to come to Europe and just hang out and travel around and see it. And I think that'd be an amazing experience. And now I got friendos, dude, that can like. So who knows, man? In the not so distant future, man, I would love to. I might be leaning on you guys for a little bit of help. for the old language pleb here, the three-head language pleb, to show me around and help me out over there a little bit and stuff. Because I would love to come see you guys and check out Europe and stuff, man. In the year 2000. Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. I would love to bring like not just, I mean, obviously, I mean, if I was gonna do that, I'd bring the family with me, you know. But if I was gonna come, dude, I would love to like see Syek and Pinky and you know like see you guys and check out have spend some time with you guys, have you show us around and stuff. That'd be great, man. It'd be awesome. There's a number of other people. I think Cappy is over in Spain. We've got people all over the place, man, which is amazing. It's really cool. So I don't know. I'll hit you guys up, dude, if we're able to make it over that way. I would love to. I would love to. Syke, I will get you your shirt, dog. And Pinky, I'll look and see if I have another one around. Do I think they? Did you tell me you wanted one initially, Pinky? I don't remember if you did. I need to look around and see if I've got another one around or not. Yeah, I know. I know. Well, that's why I didn't initially. I was like, that's insane, dude. I'm not spending 250, $300 to just send a shirt. You know, that's crazy. Yeah, and you said you wanted one? Okay. Then I've got it around here somewhere, I think. Mamzelle. Holy crap, dude. Haven't seen Mamzelle in a while. What's up, friendo? Yeah, I'll look around then, Pinky. I've probably got it around here somewhere. I probably just don't have it set out because I didn't have an address or anything for yours. Well, dude, that's what I was trying to put it in. I need to check some different shippers. Yeah. Train pigeons or something? Yeah, I'm just gonna stick it in a weather balloon. Yeah. Oh, for real, Mamzo? Oh man, I'm sorry. That sucks. I mean, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. That sucks. A swallow? No way, dude. It's got to be a crow. You guys know. If I'm sending anything by bird, it's going to be on a crow. Yeah! Oh yeah, I know a lot of people are liking D4 a lot. You guys are wild, dude. Yeah. Um, Pinky, I'll look around. I've probably got another one around here somewhere. If you told me you wanted one, I wouldn't have told you that I had one for you if I didn't have another one. I don't think I would have done that. I'll look around. I'll get you guys your shirts. I just got to figure it out. So I didn't check all carriers. I need to check all the carriers I can to see how much. But the one we went to, man, they were like, it was stupid expensive. It was so insane. I couldn't believe it. And that's all it was, Psych. We were just going to put it in one of those like paper. It wasn't like we were putting it in a flipping 10 by 20 box or anything. It's a flipping shirt. You know what I mean? So I'll figure it out though. Now that I have Wednesdays off, I can start looking into it more and everything. Found a patch of white fur on my dog's head. Why would my dad's name be S.E. Hinton? S.E. Hinton was a woman. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Yeah, I mean that's no secret around here. I mean, my dad is a dude. Just to confirm, everybody, my dad's a guy. Can confirm. Can confirm. That's bad. Dang it, dude. So, yeah, it's not a secret that like I'm named after a character in the book The Outsiders. So I mean that narrows it down a little bit, right? That's why my moniker is Outsider Antics, is because I'm named after a character in the book The Outsiders. So Wick's not wrong. My dad my dad liked the book. He liked one of the characters in the book a lot, and he liked the name a lot. And so he was like, if I ever have a son, that's what I want to name him. And here I am. Yo, Miss Bat. I mean, if you guys didn't know, it's been made into a movie as well. And if you didn't know, I mean, it is like a ton of uber famous people that are in this movie before they were famous. Check it out. It's like Tom Cruise, Matt Dillon, Emilio Estevez, Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze, dude. It's a ton. Look at this. This is the cast. Books are always better than the movies. Yeah, that's what my wife always says too. But I mean, if for those of you that don't know, I mean, this is a very old movie too. But like all these guys were in this movie together before any of them were really very famous. It's kind of crazy. They're like this is like a star-studded cast, dude, of guys that just hadn't made it in Hollywood yet. It's really wild. Gave too many hints. Why? Why? What do you mean? Yeah, get wrecked, Wick. Outsiders so good, yeah. Yeah, it's a good book. It's a good movie. I've actually read that book. One of the few I've read. Yeah, yeah. True, you don't know. You think you know, but you don't. I mean, it literally says it on the channel, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it says it on the channel. Um, yeah, I think I do. Hold on. Doesn't it say it on the channel? I think. Maybe not. Oh yeah, about Outsider Antics. I use Outsider Antics as my username because I'm named after a character in the book, The Outsiders. It literally says it on the channel. It's literally out there for everybody. Yeah. Here we go, dude. What's a boba? I know what booba is. Boba Fett? Boba Fett tea? Is that what it is? No. Yeah. So some of you might think you know, but here's the deal. I grew up in the South Midwest. So some of you know like who my favorite sports teams are and stuff like that, right? But if you think that plays into this, I would say think again. I'm a Yankees fan, right? Like, yeah, there's like I'm a Dallas Stars fan and everything too, but it's because I grew up in a place where we didn't have any pro teams, and that was quite often some of the closest teams we had were down around that area. So, just naturally, a lot of my family grew up being fans of sports teams from down in like Texas and stuff. So you can't read into that, dude. Kayla, it's all over my arm. You've never seen this? I mean, I've got a huge Yankees tattoo on my forearm. Better than being a Penguins fan. Let's just psych. Oh, okay. Better than being a Penguins fan, for sure. Or a Boston fan. Or even a Devils fan for that matter. I'm just I'm just playing, Kayla. Yeah, dude. Anything Boston, dude, I just absolutely hate it. I just hate it. I'm just playing, Kayla. I don't dislike the Devils. But I hate the Penguins, boy. So funny enough for football, I was actually raised to like the Cowboys and the Packers. Tell me how that happens. Yeah. Yeah, as a 49ers fan, yeah. You got that whole Bay Area thing down, huh, Vault? Penguins' biggest issue is Crosby. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he is absolutely the worst. No doubt about it. No doubt. Wait, bro. Oh, Jesus, dude. Shut up, Lou. Shut up, Lewis. I don't ever call Wick that. I've just seen other people call him that. That's funny, dude. I hate anything Boston is terrible. Garlax? That's a nice name, though. I like it. I'd prefer Snorlax, but Garlax is close. It's very close. Yeah. Let's get back in here. You guys are wild, dude. All right. So while the single player experience of both games is still not being touched, talking about Forza 1 and 2, matchmaking, leaderboards, browsing, and downloaded user generated content is no longer going to be available, guys. Gravlax. God dang. You guys got me crying, dude. I got flipping tears in my eyes. Call him Louie. I like Louie. Life with Louie. That's what we need to start referring to Wick as. You guys remember Life with Louie? This is Wick, dude. This is Wick right here. Life with Louie. That's Wick, dude. Life with Louie. This is a cartoon. Cartoon of Wick. Look, you got a fish. We got a fish. Where's he at? If only. Oh, God, dude. Ow, dude, my head. Ow, that hurt, dude. You guys gotta quit making me laugh so much. That was your fault. Ow. Xbox shutting servers down. Yep, that's the one we just talked about. He's like, God. No, it's hurting. Yeah, it's hurting today. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what happened, man. I felt fine when I went to bed. It's just, it happens sometimes. I don't deal with headaches too bad, not nearly as bad as I used to, which is nice. But man, I've got a decent one this morning. Day 2 of Microsoft's FTC trial. Yo, shout out to Vault. Vault hooked us up with some new info on this front. We got a few different things to talk about here. So day 2 of Microsoft's FTC trial. Court documents point to new Xbox in 2028. 5 years from now. I would expect it a little bit sooner than that. 2027, probably. But we'll see what happens. We're creeping up on 3 years into the current life cycle. Most consoles span like 6 to 7 years before the next gen comes out. So that would mean like 6 years would be 2020 November of 2026. 7 years would be November of 2027. But it could be into year 7. Wait, what? It could be into year 2027 or 2028 when it comes out. That would be year 7 of it, so it could happen, you know. Microsoft plans to bring the next gen of Xbox gaming consoles to market in 2028. There you go. According to documents unsealed in Microsoft's ongoing court battle with the FTC, Phil Spencer, head of Microsoft's Xbox division, took a stand Friday in San Fran for the second day of a hearing that could determine the fate of Microsoft's proposed $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, game giant behind blockbuster franchises including Call of Duty, Candy Crush, Warcraft, Diablo, and StarCraft. The Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, is seeking an injunction that would prevent Microsoft from meeting the final deadline on its acquisition agreements with Activision, which would entitle Activision to a $3 billion penalty payment and potentially sink the acquisition as a whole. Yo, that's an old picture of Phil. Look at that. I need a pitchfork too. I need a pitchfork back here so when you guys give me the horns, I can like pull the pitchfork out. All right, that'd be good. All right, Kayla. All right, appreciate you. What are you gonna go get? Bro had hair. He still has hair. Phil Spencer has hair, dude. He has hair. He's not bald or anything. Yo, you too, Kayla. Thanks. He's a lot slimmer now. He got thick like me. He got thick, dude. Yeah. As for further comment on that, Spencer called those wars a social construct with the community. A phrase that went viral on social media for a few hours. So Friday's testimony at the hearing was primarily dedicated to a back and forth between FTC's lawyer and Spencer. In June 22nd filing, Microsoft said outright that Xbox has lost the console wars, coming in a consistent third place behind both Sony and Nintendo. Dude, they've been that way forever, though, right? Isn't new, just newly reopened. Oh, cool. New hot dog place, huh? Yo, we've got a up close to my in-laws. There's a banging place that they specialize in. It's like they've got all kinds of stuff, but they do some amazing dogs too, man. Yeah, it's good. Right on. Yeah, I like to get the Chicago dogs. You know, Chicago dogs. Um, No way, dude. Steak number one. Big old fat steak, dude, medium rare. Nothing will really beat that for me. No way. Just some flipping sea salt and cracked black pepper on that bad boy. Medium rare. Nothing beats that for me, dude. All right, Kayla. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. I hope you have a great rest of your day if we don't see you later. I think lasagna is going to be up there in the top three for me too. So it'd be like steak, lasagna. Um, God, what would the other be for me? You look like you could pound 8 hot dogs at the same time. Flipping Kappa, dude. Oh yeah, vault. Nice, dude. Okay. Yeah. I actually had a burrito last night, dude. It's pretty solid. Um, See, I'm more of a chimichanga guy. Burritos are great. Give me a chimichanga, dude. Deep fry that bad boy. You know what I mean? That's hard, dude. Steak, lasagna. Oof. That's really tough, dude. Right now, I'm leaning towards like smoked salmon, eggs Benedict, dude. You know, Alfredo. Ah, Miss Bat, perfect, dude. Perfect. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's hard for me too. True. Yeah, it's hard for me too. But steak's my ultimate. Steak's my ultimate, dude. I could eat steak all day, every day, all day, every day. I could eat steak, dude. Oh my god. Smoked salmon, eggs Benedict, dude. Yeah. If you've never had smoked salmon, eggs Benedict, change your life, bro. I like oysters a lot too, though. Psych. Got it. No way. What? What is it, dude? Bro, it's too good. Psych, it's perfect, bro. Oh my god, dude. It's Lou. Look, it's Lou. Oh, sorry, it's perfect, bro. Ow, man, my head hurts. Oh god, dang it, dude. Oh my god, dude, I can't be laughing this hard. My head hurts so bad, dude. God dang it, man. Ow. I even took Tylenol earlier, dude. It didn't help. God dang it. That's perfect, psych. Jesus. Oh my god. It just gets better and better, dude. It just gets better and better. Oh god, I can't even get through a news article, man. God dang it. bro, bro, just put them in like a bucket and just like pull a string on the bucket so they just hit you in the face, dude. Oh, bro. I can't, dude. You guys are too much today, dog. I'm dying. Oh my god, my head is crushing. Oh Jesus, it's too much, dude. Oh god. Oh god, I'm dying. All right, let's continue here. Oh my god. It hurts, dude. I'm crying, dude. I was flipping perfect psych. Um, One of the bigger pieces of news from the case didn't come from the testimony. IGN reported some of the court's documents revealed Microsoft's current plans for the Xbox, which includes the expectation the next generation of gaming consoles will hit the market around 2028. Yeah, it's not a big surprise there. On the stand, Spencer also testified in response to an FTC lawyer's questioning the next entry in Bethesda's Softworks best-selling Elder Scrolls series, Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, etc. is at least 5 years away. Also not a surprise. And then he wasn't sure what Microsoft platforms it would appear on. That in turn has started rumors that a theoretical 10th generation Xbox might launch with a new Elder Scrolls game as a console exclusive. Look, I've been saying this here recently. Oh, dude, Olivia Munn, dude. Olivia Munn's so good. Yeah. Bro, Olivia Munn is great, dude. She's so flippin' funny, dog. Oh, man. Fantastic. Yes. Let's go. I love Olivia Munn. That's like, dude, she was G4 back in the day, dude. She's old school G4 TV stuff, man. Yeah. She was great, man. Yeah, exactly, Miss Bat. Yeah. You're gonna best it? Oh, dude, I can't. Dude, you get me something good, bro, and I'll gif it. I'll turn it into a GIF for the channel. It better be good though. It better be good. Yeah, G4 way back. So the I've been saying this here recently. I think that so it's no secret that Xbox has been pretty far behind Nintendo and PlayStation in the console wars for a long time. I think that Xbox in their next gen console has to get away from traditional console. They need to do something more like the Switch. They need to do a traditional handheld. They actually need to do something more like the Steam Deck. They have too many services that fit that kind of platform. So with their cloud gaming and with Game Pass and all that, dude, they need something like that. They need a mobile, like a true handheld that will play that dual role as a traditional console as well. Mobile hardware nowadays is good enough. Switch really was ahead of the game, but the hardware then was still not what it is today, to where it fell off pretty quickly. They've been able to drag that console out, dude. They really have, because it's Nintendo. Had that been PlayStation or Xbox, they would have needed a new console probably 4 years ago. But I think that plays very well for Microsoft's like services, for their platform. I eat my corn vertically, shouldn't be too difficult. All right. Yeah. I didn't even know I was corn faced. I'm like sitting there trying to be serious and I've got a corn face. Fantastic. So this marks what has become a fairly typical exchange in the hearing. Yeah, this has been pretty consistent here lately. FTC's argument during the hearing has hinged largely on the aftermath of Microsoft's 2021 acquisition of Bethesda and the subsequent decision to release its highly anticipated game Starfield as a console exclusive for Xbox. Look, dude, I mean, get wrecked. This is what all the console players do. At least Xbox always releases their stuff on PC as well. Nintendo never releases on anything else. PlayStation does the same thing, but it's like PlayStation proprietary stuff won't hit other consoles or platforms until usually years later, Before Microsoft acquired Bethesda, two of Bethesda's highest profile games, Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, were initially console exclusives for PlayStation. Spencer testified the pre-acquisition Starfield was going in a similar Starfield was going in a similar direction, where it would have appeared on Xbox months or years after PlayStation if it had been ported to the system at all. It's all part of what appears to be Microsoft's overall defensive strategy in this week's hearing. Sony commands a substantial lead in the console market. Microsoft has cited figures that show it has 30% of the overall console market versus PlayStation's. Although those figures conspicuously omit Nintendo from the picture, it's because Nintendo's their own like kind of entity, man. It's weird. It's hard to put Nintendo in the same basket quite often as PlayStation and Xbox. It's because they've got this own weird niche segment that they cater to, right? Of like Disney video gaming. It's weird. They are absolutely a competitor in the console market. But really, dude, honestly, it's basically because PlayStation and Xbox can't really touch them. That's what, honestly, that's really what it comes down to. They can't really be touched. They've got this really weird, they've really set themselves apart. It was a really good play. I mean, they did it very well, but they're also one of the, they're like the grossest of all the consoles to me too. So, as such, Microsoft appears to be arguing its acquisitions for Xbox are all a matter of basic survival in an intensely competitive market. This is what I've been saying the whole time, too. I mean, you look at this. Microsoft has cited figures showing that it has 30% of the overall console market, and that's basically where they've always been. They've almost always sold roughly, even just hardware-wise, console-wise, half of what PlayStation sells. So, just PlayStation being their main competitor in the console market, they've always been outsold double hardware-wise. And what I've said from the get-go of this, PlayStation's throwing a fit because they know it will change the game, right? Whereas Xbox has always had to come up with like inventive, creative ways to compete in this market with PlayStation, especially. PlayStation has been able to just sit there and make their money the way they always have. Sell consoles, sell first-party software. They don't want that to change. And this acquisition will change that. It will make Microsoft Xbox be a much... It'll actually probably set Xbox eventually, maybe not right away, but eventually it will set Xbox above PlayStation. And PlayStation doesn't want to have to figure out ways to compete with that. They want to sit where they always have. So who's really being anti-competitive in this situation, right? There are different ways to look at it. Spencer also discussed the fact Activision, though its subsidiary company King is the single largest mobile gaming developer in the world, primarily off the strength of franchises like Candy Crush. On the stand, Spencer called mobile gaming a gap in our portfolio, which the Activision Blizzard acquisition would address along the way to Microsoft launching its own competitive mobile app store. That's one of the big other things. They want to open an app store that will compete with Google and Apple also. So they're trying to get into a whole nother space as well. Vault, thanks for that article, dude. Or were these the two you sent me? I might have found that first one, but thanks for helping me out with all this. Microsoft opening the FTC hearing with a Sony bombshell. Microsoft's hearing was all about a surprise email, Xbox exclusives, and costly cloud. I think I just had a jet fly over. Gnarly. I'll say this. If Microsoft, and I have said this the entire time since this potential acquisition was announced, if Microsoft is able to move forward with acquiring Activision Blizzard and they don't oust Bobby Kotick, I'm going to be really pissed. Because this dude seems like the scum of the scum, dude, out of Activision Blizzard. He's like one of the main people at the top of that company that was there through all that crap that went down. The terrible toxic culture of that company and everything, that it feels like they couldn't get rid of him for some reason. It's like they couldn't oust him. And there's a lot of stuff that I have found out, we've read about in the news segments and stuff about how terrible he seems like of an individual he is. I want them to get rid of that fool. I think they need to revamp Activision Blizzard, personally. And it starts with that. It starts with that individual. The first day of the FTC versus Microsoft hearing kicked off exactly as I expected. Microsoft against Sony. We hadn't even hit the hour mark before Microsoft's lawyer, Beth Wilkinson, dropped a bombshell email from Sony's PlayStation chief, Jim Ryan, during her opening statement. The exchange between Ryan and Chris Deering, former CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment, revealed that Sony's PlayStation chief didn't really think Call of Duty would go exclusive to Xbox and that PlayStation would be fine. Quote, "It is not an exclusivity play at all," said Ryan. "They're thinking bigger than that, and they have the cash to make moves like this." Ryan wasn't concerned about Call of Duty exclusivity because he had spoken to Activision CEO Bobby Kotick, Xbox chief Phil Spencer, and even had reassurances from Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. Sony was also just about to announce its plan to acquire Bungie, just days after Ryan's email exchange. "We have some good stuff cooking," said Ryan, referring to Bungie. "I'm not complacent. I'd rather this hadn't happened, but we'll be okay. We'll be more than okay." The email exchange set the tone for the day, with Microsoft claiming Sony has known all along we'll stand by our promise, and that the PlayStation maker was lobbying against the deal to protect its dominant position in the market. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I've been saying all along, too. I mean, that's what it seems like. It seems like they just want to sit up there and do what they've always done and just stay above and not have to do anything different, right? They don't want to have to compete. They're the ones that seem like they're being anti-competitive here, in my opinion. The FTC also had the chance to outline its own opposition to Microsoft's proposed Activision Blizzard acquisition. The FTC is concerned about Microsoft making Activision games, including Call of Duty, exclusive to Xbox in the future. No effing way. The FTC called Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, to the stand. Microsoft and the FTC have been sparring over whether the Nintendo Switch should be considered part of the console market. Yeah, why would they not be? Again, I mean, they've got their own kind of bubble they're in, but they're still a console player. True rival to the Xbox, or whether the market is just high-performance consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X. The FTC took the opportunity to question Booty about exactly how Call of Duty would run on the Switch, something Microsoft has promised to do as part of a 10-year deal with Nintendo. Well, let's be fair here. Nintendo's going to have a new console out within the next year to year and a half, I think. Nintendo won't say that, but that means that Call of Duty being on Nintendo, it wouldn't have to be on Switch. It could be on their new console, right? But he explained Microsoft would have to adjust graphics and assets to run on Nintendo platforms. Obviously, change to that FTC argues would mean it's essentially a separate game and dissimilar to the Xbox and PlayStation console versions. Yeah, but that's not up to you. Here's the deal. Nintendo agreed. Nintendo got offered a 10-year deal to have Call of Duty on their platform, and I'm guessing Nintendo, knowing what the capabilities of their hardware are, they had a discussion with Microsoft about what it would entail to get Call of Duty on their platform, and they went, sounds good. So why does the FTC have any say in this at all anyways? They're bringing up something that doesn't have to do with it. If the game can run, if they can get that game to run on the Switch, as they've said they can, and they've done a handshake deal with Nintendo, what does the FTC have anything to do with it? They don't. They're just trying to come up with more things to try and throw on top of this because they don't want the deal to happen, really. Difference matters here because without Nintendo in the mix, Xbox has nearly half the US console market share. PlayStation making up the other half. Otherwise, Microsoft protests, it's in third place. Dude, how is Nintendo not going to be considered console market? What else would they be? They're definitely not PC. What would you consider them? How is the FTC going to act like Nintendo, which legit has an entire division, Nintendo of America, that is a console video game developer? That doesn't make sense. Look, this is a very, very long article. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it's very interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm going to probably try to read the rest of it. There's a lot to go on here. I will read this one though. You guys might want to dive into the rest of that. There's some weird stuff going on in this entire situation. I think what this comes down to, yeah, FTC is crazy. The rest of the world has approved this. Regulatory committees all over the world have approved this acquisition now, aside from the UK and the Federal Trade Commission here in the US. And anytime you have a business absorbing another business or buying out another business or whatever, acquiring another business, it's going to result in some anti-competitiveness, right? But I think it's important to, it almost seems like the FTC is like trying to be real biased about this situation. By like, how are you not even going to include Nintendo in the conversation here as a console player? What are they then? What? That's crazy. That's crazy talk. It feels like they're like biased against Microsoft for some reason. That's really weird. I don't understand what that's about. But I mean, as we all know, like anything that has to do with politics or high, you know, who knows, man. Maybe Sony has some of these FTC regulators in their pocket, or there's probably a lot of greasy kind of palm workings going on here and stuff. You know what I mean? Who knows, dude? It's weird. There's always some kind of weird background stuff, corrupt kind of crap going on probably, but I don't know. Look, I'm not saying that there might not be some anti-competitiveness, because I think anytime you have an acquisition and you're removing a competitor from like that's no longer going to be a competitor for Microsoft, right? And Microsoft's going to have a huge portfolio now. You know what I mean? Which means there's inherently going to be an amount of anti-competitiveness that comes out of that. But at the same time, you have to look at it also in the fact that it could potentially elevate competitiveness too. Microsoft's going to come in as a third player in the mobile app market, which is going to raise competitiveness on that side of things, right? For Google and Apple, you've got to look at it as they are now going to be able to compete probably on a similar level to what PlayStation has. PlayStation's always been head and shoulders above Xbox, right? And Nintendo as well. Xbox has always been the low man on that three-man totem pole of competition in the console market. So it's weird that, you know, FTC is just trying to like blatantly disregard the fact that this could actually raise competitiveness in the market in some areas as well, it seems. It's just weird to me. I'm going to read all of that. I'm going to try to find time anyways, but let's move on to this real quick. Microsoft acquired Bethesda after hearing Starfield would be exclusive to PlayStation. Yeah, we just kind of read about that too. Yeah, Phil Spencer revealed that Sony regularly pays competitors to skip our platform. Yeah, we know that. Sony denies it all the time, but we have definitive information about it now because of this whole all of these hearings that have gone down, especially with the FTC. There's been a lot of back and forth between lawyers regulators, things like that, where they've had to turn over a lot of documentation that has confirmed these kinds of notions, and that has been basically like, for the longest time, we've kind of thought that was the case, but we didn't really have any confirmation of it, and now we really know that it's been confirmed. Like that's been happening for quite a while. Microsoft felt it needed to own Bethesda to compete. When we acquired ZeniMax, one of the impetus for that is that Sony had done a deal for Deathloop and Ghostwire to pay Bethesda to not ship those games on Xbox, said Spencer. So the discussion about Starfield, when we heard that Starfield was potentially also going to end up skipping Xbox, we can't be in a position as a third place console where we fall further behind on our content ownership. So we had to secure content to remain viable in the business. Microsoft spent $7.5 billion to acquire ZeniMax Media, parent company of Elder Scrolls and Fallout, studio Bethesda Softworks. Close of the deal, Microsoft promised Xbox and PC exclusives, and it has so far shipped Redfall with Starfield set for September 6th. Bethesda's upcoming Indiana Jones game is also an exclusive for Xbox and PC. Later in his testimony, Spencer refused to confirm whether Elder Scrolls 6 is an Xbox exclusive or not. I bet it will be. I think we've been a little unclear on what platform it's launching on, given how far out the game is, said Spencer. Difficult for us right now to nail down. I mean, that's true too. If it's 5+ years out, then you can't say definitively right now. But Elder Scrolls, these big titles like this are ones that you definitely, these players want. It's like God of War, Final Fantasy, Elder Scrolls, those kinds of games, right? Long running, huge IPs. Those are the ones they make first party. Platform exclusives, right? So I'm like 95% sure that Elder Scrolls 6 will be Xbox PC and not any other platform. Yeah. Every time we ship a game on PlayStation, Sony captures. A big part of Spencer's testimony today has been around painting Sony as an aggressive and hostile competitor. Every time we ship a game on PlayStation, Sony captures 30% of the revenue that we do on their platform. And then they use that money among other revenue that they have to do things to try and reduce Xbox's survival on the market. We try to compete, but as I said, over the last 20 years, we've failed to do that effectively. Buying up Bethesda and trying to acquire Activision Blizzard is, Spencer argues, a way to compete with Sony. Microsoft sure is spending a lot of cash to compete here, though. Proposed Activision Blizzard deal is valued at $68.7 billion. Yeah. And this is hilarious. So this plays into kind of just what we read just a second ago too. But PS5 fans are jealous of Starfield, and it's getting embarrassing. There was a petition that came out. They might talk about it, where like 25 people had signed it. It was hilarious. Been a wild few weeks for video games. I actually thought Sony Showcase was fairly good, dude. What? Yeah, it's about the petition. There are like communities of gamers that are trying to get these petitions going. It's really stupid, honestly. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, first party games, proprietary games for platforms feel bad. I don't think it should work like that. I mean, but that's perfect world scenario. In a perfect world, every game would come out on every platform. It would be optimized for all those platforms that it came out on, meaning actually developed specifically for all of those platforms, not a port from the one it was developed for and then, ported over to the other ones or whatever. It would perform well. It would be on every platform, And it wouldn't matter if anybody wanted to be a Nintendo player, an Xbox player, a PlayStation player, or a PC player. You could play every game that ever came out. That's not the world we live in, though, right? And oh yeah, we've read about the past couple of days, Vault. Yeah, it's actually insane. It's hilarious. You know, it doesn't. I mean, it wouldn't make a crap if they got a million people to sign it. This is business, right? It wouldn't matter. You think these companies are going to go, oh, God dang it, we've got a bunch of gamers that are, I mean, take a look at it. Like, you think Phil Spencer's sitting there, and Phil Spencer seems like a good dude, but do you think he's sitting in his office going, oh man, there's a petition going around that gamers are signing that are upset that Starfield's not going to release on PlayStation, so we better go ahead and port that thing over there. No, he's probably laughing about it like we are. You know? And again, it wouldn't matter if it was 50 people signed it or 50 million. I mean, it really, it's not going to change the fact that it's a huge IP, and this is what console players do, or console developers, the players in the console market, the developers themselves. They take the biggest games they have each year and they turn them first party, proprietary. It's always been this way, um, and I find it funny that people think that this is going to do anything, I mean, best world is like, like I said, every game would be on every platform, but it's just not the world we live in. So it's comical, really, that people are actually creating these petitions and going, that's not fair. But I think this is what's funny too, is that like, I haven't really seen anything like this until Starfield. Right? We see the Starfield, and the PlayStation fans are throwing a fit. But I mean, we haven't seen petitions, at least, I mean, not in the public, not in the media or anything, anyways, where it's like people are throwing a fit about Final Fantasy 16 just being on PlayStation or Tears of the Kingdom just being on Nintendo or anything, right? So why all of a sudden are these PlayStation fans throwing a huge fit that Starfield is proprietary for Xbox? It just it comes off like a bunch of Karens, a bunch of gamer Karens that are, I don't know, don't have anything better to do, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's weird. That's weird to me. If you want to read more about it, we've already hit on it before, though. Oh, hey there. Look who's back. What's up? What's up, Caleb? All right. Look, if you thought that you were going to get to use your $3,000 Apple VR headset for gaming, think again. Because $3,000 isn't enough, guys, okay? Apple might have already ruined the Vision Pro for VR gaming. Apple claims to have broken the mold with its new Vision Pro mixed reality headset, which promises to revolutionize everything from video calls to general laptop use. There's one area the shiny new headset could fall down: VR gaming. Although Apple's WWDC 2023 showcase did highlight VR gaming experiences as a core part of the Vision Pro's capabilities, new information reported by Mix has revealed that there might be some design choices within the Vision OS software that could seriously impact the VR gaming experience. Did you get your food, Kayla? Recently released Apple documentation explains that the system defines an invisible zone that extends 1.5 meters from the initial position of the wearer's head. During immersive experiences in VR, it goes on to say that if their head moves outside of that zone, the experience automatically stops and pass-through returns to help people avoid colliding with objects in their physical surroundings. This sort of safety feature is commonplace in the best VR headsets like the Meta Quest 2. However, Meta's system allows users to define a set space around themselves for the purposes of spatial safety. While it looks like standard VR apps on the Vision Pro, as opposed to Apple's immersive experiences, will switch to transparent mode if you move just a meter from your starting point. Locked in a virtual box. A 1 meter limit could prove problematic for some VR apps, especially games. The author says I own a VR headset, the HP Reverb G2, which I use for gaming, and I definitely move my head more than a meter while playing most games, like dodging an oncoming slow motion bullet in super hot VR. Immersion is king when it comes to gaming in VR. You don't want to be pulled out of the experience, and the Reverb G2 system is similar to the MetaQuest series, allows me to draw that exact boundary of my space, which is much larger than a meter. If I get too close to a physical object, the entire game doesn't become transparent. Instead, I see a bluish outline of the closest objects that bleeds into the game to warn me I might be moving too much. That's awesome. Yeah, however, with just a single meter of space to move around before your in-game surroundings becomes transparent, not hard to see how in-game immersion could be easily interrupted. Yeah. Yeah, they could always, I mean, it's software. They could update it. Who knows what they'll do here, but, you know. Bro, I'm sorry, but anybody paying $3,000 to buy this Apple VR stuff, eating my hot dog. The meat sauce when it's a little spicy. Nice. Yeah. I like some spice. Yeah, yeah. Nice. That sounds good. I just Apple's insane, dude. I'm sorry. I just can't I've never been able to buy into it. The amount of money they make people pay for this hardware is outrageous. Their hardware in general is just outrageous to me. It's just so crazy. But I don't know. They'll probably end up fixing that through some kind of hardware or some software update or something. Or they should, anyways. That is a bad implementation, a bad way for people to be using the VR. I mean, it's good because it keeps you from running into stuff, but at the same time, it's not as maybe well developed as something as what the author was talking about, right? All right, here's the last article I have, dude. Last article I have, and we're probably just call it for the day, dude. I've got a crushing headache. It's a weird day. The electricity went out for a couple of hours, a little bit over that actually, and I'm gonna get some stuff done. I've got some things I'm gonna do with my son later on, and so I'm just gonna try to rest up and get the head straight, and we'll get a good day of grounded in tomorrow and through the next week. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I appreciate it. True, appreciate it. It's just a weird day. I would have played grounded today. I would have, but it's just weird. The electricity went out for so long, and I don't know. We'll just call it after this. But if anybody has anything to add, let me know. I'll address it before we kind of wrap things up. Cool. The Diablo 4 team confirms direct storage isn't working on the game, but we are planning on enabling it in the future. Yeah. So this was actually technology developed by Microsoft. It was initially rolled out in Forspoken, but Diablo 4 devs have confirmed that while there are direct storage files in the game already, it doesn't take advantage of the game-changing solid state tech yet. Our intrepid Katie has been told specifically that it is being planned for the future. Microsoft Direct Storage is currently not enabled, the Diablo team says, but we are planning on enabling it in the future. It was reported back in March, around the time of the beta, that files for direct storage along with DLSS had been uncovered in the game files installed on people's machines. Since then, we've heard nothing about its implementation, leaving Forspoken, like I said, with the honor of being the only actual released game that uses SSD utilizing technology. And that's about all Forspoken has. Yeah, like I said earlier. Direct storage is all about having games actually utilizing the power of performance of solid state drives. Yeah, particularly those running on the high bandwidth NVMe protocol. Previously, with lots of existing systems and consoles specifically still using hard drives, game developers had to cater to the slowest common denominator. And this is where I think we're starting to see a lot more games show recommended solid state drives now. You're starting to see that. Developers don't want people using HDDs anymore. It doesn't mean you can't, but you might start seeing issues in games moving forward where if you're not running on solid state drives, you could get some weirdness, maybe, right? Because they're being developed specifically for solid state technology and the other kinds of tech implementations that are getting developed around that kind of storage tech, right? With the Xbox Series X, S, and PlayStation 5 all shipping with NVMe SSD solid state drives as standard now, and their use in gaming PCs almost as ubiquitous, it's about time we started being able to take more advantage of the technology. That should lead to both shorter load times, as quick as 1 solitary second in some potential instances, and lower resource loads on the CPU. Graphics cards can get in on the action too, taking the processor almost entirely out of the equation when pulling information from solid-state storage, such as textures and other image data. Though GPU hardware-based decompression such as this is so far missing in action entirely. All this makes direct storage a rather exciting technology, giving us open worlds with fast streaming, high-res textures, promise of no loading screens anywhere. Presumably, hopefully, that's why Starfield is coming out of the gate as the first game I know that's making an SSD a minimum requirement. Yeah. So, real quick, what I'll say is, so everybody knows what direct storage is. We'll just go into this one real quick. That was not a real detailed explanation. And for anybody that's interested, you shut your mouth. So direct storage is a new piece of software that enables games to take advantage of fast NVMe solid state drives, right? So the NVMe 2.0 like solid state drives, right? It doesn't just reduce loading times. Games become increasingly complex, better hardware is needed to run them. That's not limited to CPUs and GPUs. Fast solid state drives are becoming increasingly important for good gaming performance. Let's see here. What's the get to the meat here. Thanks. Ha! Get those peoples rolling. You see that? Can I get him going? Oh, no. A big part of direct storage is GPU, graphics card, file decompression. Most game files are compressed to reduce the install size. Your CPU, your central processor, usually handles the decompression work. It turns out GPUs are really good at small file decompression, and direct storage taps into that. It improves loading times while, according to Microsoft, massively reducing CPU overhead. So it's basically using your GPU to do what traditionally CPUs have always handled. So it offloads a lot of that CPU usage in tapping into what the GPU can do itself for what the GPU actually needs anyways, right? This is still, this is a technology that's in its infancy. Again, I said this earlier too. It's not something we've really seen much yet. So, Forspoken's the only game that's really come out with it, and Forspoken was not very good. But you can't just like put all that on like this direct storage or anything. We have bad games come out all the time that are just developed poorly, right? So we've got to wait and see what direct storage is going to actually give us when, it's had time to bake. It's been implemented in a lot of different software, and it's been utilized more often from different developers, and maybe it's evolved a little bit also. But the grand scheme of things, the idea here is that it's going to offload a lot of the potential middleman. So, it's going to make it to where the hardware is more efficient at processing data, basically. Okay. So cutting out some of the middleman processing, offload resources that has traditionally been needed to process data and things like that. So there's not as much back and forth data sharing of sending and receiving. It's just going to be a more efficient process potentially, right? But we just need more time to find out if it's going to work as well as the theoretical, Microsoft is telling us it's going to actually perform, right? We just need it to be utilized more to see how it's going to actually pan out for us, right? That's what it comes down to. All right, enough nerd talk. Sorry. That's the Jamalam, guys. So weird day, dude. I'm sorry. If we were going to game today, we wouldn't get much in, anyways. We went over 12 hours yesterday, which was awesome. And I wasn't going to go super hard today, but at this point, we wouldn't get a whole lot of grounded in anyway. So I'm just going to call it. I've had a killer headache all day, so I'm going to rest up, get ready for tomorrow. We'll do the news tomorrow, man. For June 25th, and then we'll get a good day of grounded in as long as the power doesn't go back out. I don't suspect it will. That is a really weird one-off situation. I'm really sorry, guys. But I know we had Pinky, dude. I'm sorry. And everybody else, for not getting any gaming content in today. I apologize. But hopefully tomorrow will be a better, more schedule-orientated day. You know what I mean? Where it's more norm. Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm all right, man. It's one of those, man, I just woke up with a crusher, dude, and I felt like it was getting better, and then it's kind of coming back on me. So we'll be back at it tomorrow, man. You guys rock. I appreciate you very much. You guys are amazing. Pinky, thanks for the resub, dog. Let me know in 4 days, and I'll give you another one. I think that's the way that works. All right, Sai. Oh, God, you guys are hilarious, dude. I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being part of this. I hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. Again, I apologize for no gaming content, but we'll get plenty in tomorrow. Okay, we'll do the news for tomorrow, June 25th, and then we'll get the grounded gameplay in. All right. You guys rock, dude. I appreciate you very much. I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys, and I don't know. I hope you have a great rest of your day. That's all I got, man. Cool. You guys stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, all right? And I can't wait to do it tomorrow. Cool. I'm out of here. Thanks, everybody.